Welcome back to the third episode of Going Deep with Bread English. And what a beautiful way to celebrate the third episode of Going Deep with Bread English by my first threesome, Jakey and Julian. Thank you guys very much for sharing your home with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for
We
being
love it.
here. We're loving to have you over. It's nice.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Really excited.
Yes. We're very excited. Nervous, but excited.
Yeah.
Same here. This is amazing. So I wanted to start off with, how did you guys meet? And was it love at first sight, or did it have to come to a boil?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So we actually met as a result of losing our jobs during COVID. So I got an office job and Julian got an office cleaning job. And he came around the corner one day and happened to be cleaning the floor that I worked on.
Oh.
And we locked eyes and I was like, holy shit, who is that?
And then after that, we go and hook up in the toilet.
Literally, that was fast forwarding. It's fast forwarding, but yeah, like
That's beautiful.
we saw each other every day.
Yes.
For I don't know, a number of weeks. I started to try and like flirt with you and learn a few Spanish words and stuff, and then eventually we kicked it up a notch and went to the toilet. That worked.
But then eventually we realized that, as we know, like we have to try. Like we love it, but it was just the passion and the stuff. And then the easy path was just simply like, all right, done. What should we do? That's it. You know, I'm an immigrant. That was my side. I'm an immigrant. You're an Australian. Nice, but this is not gonna happen. But we decided to try, and since then been 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It was really nice because I think about a month after we met, our office was changing locations.
Yes.
Wow.
So I kind of took that as a sign of like, if you're going to go for it with Julian, it's either now or never.
Yeah.
So I went for it
Yes.
and asked you out on a date, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give you some flowers, and we went to Malalu Beach.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that story. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just preying on the cleaner.
I honestly feel like as cliched as it was, and I kind of didn't think that it would happen to me, but yeah, I do think it was love at first sight.
Yeah, you can't just like
First sight.
tick the
I
box.
felt an instant connection with Julian. Like
Wow.
there was, when the first time I made eye contact with you, I was like, wow, something special about this person.
In my case, I saw your love, and I understood that you loved me a lot. But I was in a situation that I was like, I don't know, I'm unstable. I don't know what is this. And then eventually, through time, it goes growing and growing. And nowadays, we still have our time alone, and we enjoy our time alone.
Yeah.
But we also think of the other when we are not with each other a lot. Yeah, we really connect, and we have a good friend right next to each other, and we talk and we connect in a different levels,
Yeah.
and we have awkward conversations all the time.
Many.
Yep.
And we love it. And here we are
Yeah.
after 600 and so many days.
I suppose like what Julian's touching on, like being an immigrant, like it kind of that unease when you're in another country, it kind of manifests in different ways. And I think one of those ways was that he didn't allow himself to open up
Yeah, true.
to a relationship fully. So that took time.
It's like I can't not love
Yeah.
because I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here. But also it's silly because the only thing that you have is your present right anyway. That
True.
you try, and that's what I did, and here we are.
Worked out beautifully.
It did.
Yeah. And how do you hold the masculine feminine energy in the relationship? Is it more to one side, one or the other, or you guys both have a masculine feminine side that comes together?
It's very interesting because, as you know, Jakey is Lola as well. He got an alter ego who is Lola Ariola. And at the beginning, for me, was very, very challenging. And I have to face that fear of being feminine. The feminine that you see nowadays has grown through him. And learning from, it's possible to be feminine and enjoy your femininity. Even though, because since I was very little, I knew I loved my femininity.
Yeah.
But you hide it. You hide it because it's not things that you should do. And then you realize that actually it's lovely.
Yeah.
And I love it. And why not?
Yeah.
and he was very expressive with the feminine side, and I learned through it from you, and after that I literally just start expressing myself as well, and I enjoy my feminine side now, and it's nice. Now we get to move from feminine to masculine. Sometimes we're both very masculine, sometimes we're both very feminine, sometimes we just flow in between.
Beautiful.
And it works. And it works. Serves the purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the alter ego?
Yeah, sure. So I think it kind of goes back to when I was younger. I was quite in touch with my feminine side, and I think before I had an awareness that it wasn't appropriate to be feminine when you're a boy or a man.
Yeah.
I would, dress up and I'd dance and sing and do all these things. And as I went through school, I realized that that's not what boys do, and that's that as society tells us. So that's when the suppressing of that started.
Yeah.
And as I became an adult and explored my sexuality and discovered more of who I was, I realized that there are different ways where you can express your feminine side, and it can be really empowering and liberating and
fun.
And
oh
fun.
My God.
I look at it as like I am, every time I'm expressing myself in a feminine way or performing on stage as Lola, I'm like giving my younger self a big hug and giving myself permission to be that kid and express myself like that. So it's really, really empowering.
Beautiful.
And it's a very vulnerable thing too, because you're kind of bearing yourself in a way that society, it's coming around, but it still doesn't really accept.
Yeah. But is there a strong community that sort of holds you in that space at your shows?
Absolutely. Like the queer performance community is like incredible in Perth. Like really supportive, really diverse.
Very open to accept new drag queens and being okay. Being okay also with having friends and people who consider themselves no-binary. That is something quite new. It's people who said like, well, I just don't define myself neither feminine, neither masculine. And that's it. And people go, oh, cool, nice. We're gonna go for a coffee.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah, through the performing world, like I've met people from all walks of life and learnt a lot about transgender people and gender non-conforming people, and there's so much.
Beautiful,
and it's ever growing, and we're always learning, but it's beautiful. We're so diverse as humans. Why don't we just embrace it?
100%, yeah. So you actually sing, dance, everything.
How
did the performance
sing in
go?
the shower.
You sing. Remember the other day you sing very beautifully.
No, I don't sing on stage. I dance, lip sync, bit of comedy.
Very good comedian. Make me laugh a lot.
I look at it in a few different ways. It's like it's therapy for me, so I can express sometimes the things that I can't put into words. I can just express in a performance.
Yeah. And
then sometimes I'll perform to connect with people and help them realize that they're not alone. It's great. You can do whatever you want. It's a blank canvas every time you go on stage. It's really cool.
I'd actually like to see you perform, to be honest.
And also I get free wigs.
Oh, really?
And I guess having all of the wigs and costumes and stuff around, and I was very clear from the outset that like Lola is a part of my life. If you're with me, you're going to be with Lola as well.
Us,
and you can run now if you want. I made it very clear at the start. I was like, because when that wig goes on, this bitch is coming out and you're going to have to get used to it. But I feel like...
Can you just snap into that, like Lola on, like right now? Or you
were telling me the other day.
Got to prepare yourself,
No, it is a process. It's a transformational process over multiple hours. But I do... It's like... I don't know. How does it feel for you when like I'm in full like makeup and wig and everything?
Well, I think you were explaining me the other day that doesn't matter how long it takes the makeup. As soon as you put the wig on, You just feel that shit.
Yeah, it's that final.
It's the wig.
It's the wig. It's the final thing at the
I
end
have a
of the
wig as
wig.
well for my stand-up comedy performance.
Yeah.
When I wear a wig, I just feel like a different person.
Yeah.
I feel like in my past life I had long hair, but when the wig comes on, something changes. You know.
Yeah.
It's the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, I got my favorite game here. I want to play with you guys quickly.
Yeah.
It's called We're Not Really Strangers. We just pull a random card and ask each other a question.
Okay.
Now, there's 3 different levels. Getting more intense. You want to start with what level you want to go to? 1, 2, or 3?
Is 1 the least intense?
Least intense.
Let's start from 1.
Let's start with 3. Okay.
Oh, you want to start with 3?
I say yes to everything.
Pull a card from 1,
Okay.
and you pull a card from 3. What is that card? Is that a wild card?
A white card, yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I got 1 from 2. So we'll start with you, Jakey.
Okay.
You're asking both of us.
Okay. What was your first impression of me?
I love
Is that asking me or him?
I'll ask you first.
Okay.
What was
my
your
first impression of you, I do remember it quite clearly at the beach, at that Calder Nips thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, very stylish man, very good looking man, and knows what he wants. Very, straightforward. You know where you're going.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And what was your first impression of me?
When I first saw you, I thought, oh shit, is he the one who's gonna be my partner? Because I was just like connected with the voices and I was like, okay, let's give it a go. Let's work together. And then now I realize that it is. And I loved it. The love of my life. Of this life. Who knows next
Yeah,
time.
that's right.
See you there.
Thank you.
Show the first photo in your camera roll and explain.
Like the first one that comes up on your phone?
The first one on the camera roll, yeah.
I don't have
Okay.
my phone with me.
Mine's on that bench. Let me...
Is that too far or?
No, I can get it.
Let's do it.
Oh my god, where is mine? Probably a nude or something.
Oh, this is my most recent one.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna get mine all.
So it's a screenshot of a session after a
Okay.
client.
Beautiful.
And the client says, "Thank you so much for the session this morning, beautiful. It was honestly amazing. I feel so clear-headed and energized. It was so magical. You are incredible, a natural." And then I said, "It's such a pleasure. Thank you for letting go."
Amazing.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, I go past that one because my phone is somewhere.
And I'll tag your
far away.
Instagram page for your business.
Mine says, "What do I need to hear right now?"
What do you need to hear right now? You asking me?
Both of you guys.
Okay. You are loved.
True. Thank you.
And you are beautiful.
Thanks.
Pretty cool game, hey?
It's great.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I love this game. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. I'll put those away.
This reminds me of, have you heard of Esther Perel?
Oh, we have to get that one,
Ooh.
eh?
I haven't actually heard of a step forever.
So she's a relationship therapist, and I think a sex therapist as well. But she's created a game very similar to this.
Oh wow.
With
What is the name of it? We ordered it, but it's on back
Yeah.
order or something.
it's not like Where Did We Begin? That's her podcast. Where Do We
Yeah.
Begin?
Wow.
I'll tell you about it afterwards.
That's
but
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same kind of concept.
Very-
So you can have like dinner parties where you deep dive into conversations
Oh,
with
wow.
people and talk about things you may have never spoken about before.
Beautiful. That's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need to break down those barriers. Can we talk about your work with the Access bars and also your, is it coaching that you're doing or?
Yeah. So, Grow with the Flow, it came about really during the mandates, the vaccine mandates.
Yeah.
So, I just noticed a lot of people around me were really reflecting on where they were at in their lives and kind of looking at what direction they wanted to head in.
Yeah.
Was what they were doing, meaningful and having a good impact on their life. And I'd been thinking about maybe starting my own business for a little while, but didn't really have I was comfortable enough that I didn't have to take that step, and so I got uncomfortable, and I've always loved the expression "go with the flow." So grow with the flow seemed like a nice fit, and the energy healing through the access bars is something that I experienced as a client and was really blown away by it. So. For those that don't know, essentially it's you're lying on a massage table and you have a facilitator that touches different points on your head that access different parts of your subconscious in different areas of your life, and you work together to clear any energetic blockages that you may be having in different parts of your life. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, and each practitioner has their own way of doing it, as with any modality. So the more I'm doing it, the more I'm tuning into my own power and ability, and I just love that it helps to create more ease and clarity for people, and that's really what I want Grow with the Flow to be about. I don't want it to be like one thing. I want it to be as many different ways that I can connect, create, and help people to be the best versions of themselves.
I saw some stuff on your page about expression. Reaching your fullest expression. What are some things you're seeing of people you're working with that's hindering their expression or blocking them from being their truest, best self?
I think a lot of... It's interesting, I think we've kind of all done it to ourselves collectively, but these standards of who we should be, how we should behave, how we should act.
These little boxes,
almost to fit in with society, when really the point is to have an individual expression and be yourself, and however that comes through for you is okay. So oftentimes the biggest barrier is themselves. And I think we can all resonate with that on some level. It's that self-talk, that inner dialogue that really blocks a lot of people. So I think guiding them to tap into what sparks joy for them, what ignites them, what excites them, and finding ways to stay connected with that, and not pushing that to the side and suppressing that and think, it's not going to pay the bills, or it's not, all these excuses we come up with. So that's the goal, because I do it now, so I'm living proof that you can do it. And I know how great it feels and how aligned you feel with yourself. It's obviously has its hard days, as anything does, but that's my goal. Is I want people to be themselves as much as they can. The
Giving
expression.
hope. Remember, once we did an agreement of like, we here just to give hope to people. We cannot do anything for them, but we can give them hope. We can just simply like show that we can do. We can be happy, even though when we struggle, we can be enjoy our lives. You can run a business, but everything that they want as well, they can't. They just have to trust in themselves and kind of stop that little voice and say, "Hey, I hear you, but I think I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm just gonna follow my path and just grow and grow with the flow."
Exactly. And we're all limitless beings, right? Limitless
agree.
potential. So
Just limit to put on ourselves.
Exactly. Everyone got a beautiful seed, and that seed is meant to be a beautiful tree. Then it's just no way of comparison, no way of competition, no way of that. It's just growing with the flow again, in their own times, in their own terms.
Beautiful. Can I talk to you about spirituality and shamanism? Because I see your necklace there.
Yes.
You have the shaman vibes.
Yes.
I've seen your Instagram page. So you've been into spirituality for a while, or did it find you one day?
It's interesting because since I was very young, my mother and my grandmother always have like these ideas of energy and spirituality. We grew up in a Catholic family, but always was this of manifestation and signs written in the wall or things like that from my mother.
Wow.
Like having these positive vibes and stuff.
But they were Catholic, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because that's Latin America. You grow in a Catholic country, and that's how most of the people grow. But on the side, my mother and my grandmother would always be connected with spirituality. And then I remember like seeing all these signs and seeing my mother talking with the plants, talking with the birds, and actually the birds replying, or a lot of people in the house all the time. It was a happy vibe, and I was like, wow, this must be something unique. And then eventually my mother passed away, and in the moment she's gone, I realized that maybe it wasn't her just doing it, and I realized that maybe it was a power that every single person have inside of themselves. And then I started inquiring, looking, reading, journaling, doing different little things that connect me with nature. Listen to people, trying to understand what people really meant to say when they speak to you or when they don't. And then eventually, little by little, I realized that we are just spiritual beings, very powerful beings, and in the moment we decide to touch that power and say, all right, I will work with you because I know you've been there all this time. In that moment, that power just pours on you and said, okay, now your life is going to be a bliss every day. And now when you realize that is when you said, nice, now I'm going to share it with the others, not with the rush of show or anything like that. More with the rush of like, I can't. Of course you can. Of course you can do it. I hope you look into that. What is the thing, as Jakey said, what is the thing that excite you? What is the thing that make you thrill? Look into it, because that is the path that you're meant to be doing. And then eventually, little by little, I start having more connection with whatever you want to call it, energy, God, your own reality, your own self in different dimensions, quantum physics, everything. And then when you realize that is realizing that you are the creator. You are the creator of everything, of every single thing that happened in your life, even though the bad things that happen on your life. You are that creator. And then when you realize that, you simply just start realizing to think more positively, to have more space for yourself and silent time with nature, and time with good people, as we are right now doing here. And that's it. The purpose of life is life itself, and that's what we're doing now.
I love the way you speak, by the way. So much love and conviction in your words. It's kind of like John McGraw Ruiz, you know. You read the book The Four Elements, or The Mastery of Love. Have you heard of him?
No.
He's amazing as well, but you just reminded me of him. Can I talk about relationships? And what are your top 3 relationship green flags and then red flags?
That's very interesting because we don't have any flags anymore.
No flags?
Yes, we get rid of the flags.
All gone, okay.
We've been, since we started a relationship, and I love this from Jakey, because he was always open for everything. I said, love. Do you see that people are in a relationship, but they don't seem to be happy?
I see that a lot.
I was like, what is this? Just. Or you see them happy, but then as soon as they get into the house, they just fight, you know? What is this happening, you know? And thinking of realization and stuff, we understood that not because we are partners, we have to fly tied up. We have to fly with enough space that the wind of each other make us fly higher, but no stop us and put us down to the ground. And it takes us to explore different ideas, explore times of having sexual interaction with other people, time to explore relaxing more, the times of what are you doing, what time are you coming back, is dinner time, you know, being more like, you know, do what your heart says and explore it. And then if that hurt me, come back, we talk, and then we reevaluate it and see how we go from there.
Okay.
Same from his side. We explore different areas, and we still are. We still explore everything, and it worked.
Yeah, we love to say, I'll see you when I see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's probably green flags and red flags from what you just talked about anyway.
True.
So like, I suppose a massive green flag is if the person is willing to have open communication,
Yes.
open and honest communication. That's probably our biggest foundation, isn't it? From the get-go. That's something that we really drilled in, is like, whatever's on your mind, however hard it may be for the other one to feel, talk about it.
Yeah.
But
Because
not
we
just,
can't get anywhere if we're just hiding it from one another.
True.
but not just like, hello love, how are you? How was your day? No, it's like, fuck love. Today, I literally thought that I just not gonna have time to. I think I'm gonna be like deported from the country, and I'm just gonna be so stressed, and I'm like, and then we just have to talk, and then we literally have that conversation just before you went to get your cable,
Okay.
and then we got into a thought. It's like, well, whatever is meant to happen will happen, and at the end of the day, we create that, and then if that is experience that we have to do, well, we do it, and we will explore it,
Yeah.
and then but is
Meeting your partner where they're at.
yes.
So is a really good green flag, which we've been really good at, like trying to avoid any kind of like power dynamic or
Yeah.
Also, yes.
I'm more spiritual than you, or
Competition.
because that
Yeah.
happens. It definitely happens.
Yeah, we got through that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got through that too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I was thinking
What are
of-
some other like? What are things that haven't worked?
But if
Like that, they would be red flag stuff that like doesn't work. Or you mean just in general, like
Just in general, like yeah.
Yeah.
We can always come back to it if you can't think of it when it comes into your mind. What is
good idea,
yeah.
because communication is very important. We try to communicate and to have that awkward conversation. It's like, love, I think this is gonna hurt you, but I have to say it,
Yeah.
and then we say it, and then we just figure it out, and it's like, okay, all right, we understood. We grow from it, we reevaluate, and then we think another way, just not to hurt the other, and also grow. Another a good analogy that we use is, you are my mirror holder. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, actually, all of this stuff related here in a relationship is more like this beautiful soul experiencing his physicality is just making me a favor, holding the mirror to see who I really am, and then to understand who I am. But not because he's holding the mirror, I will attack him. Same way it works for me.
Yeah.
I hold the mirror for himself. He grows what he sees in the reflection, but not because I hold the mirror.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for it, and that's something that we work.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, when they see that mirror, they run. Because it's like,
Is
it's
atheist.
super confronting. Super confronting, because you're going to see parts of yourself that you've been trying to control and keep hidden and keep from other people from seeing. And then you can either step in and really look at that shit and work through it with someone that, loves you. Or
But don't take us wrong. It doesn't mean we're perfect. We literally do it every day. We just did it in the kitchen half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's a practice, I suppose. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Can you guys tell me the story of what it was like coming out, expressing sexuality for your families and friends, and just getting over that obstacle and barrier of full expression?
Do you want me to go first? Yeah, okay. So I came out when I was not living in Australia via FaceTime. Thank you, technology.
Yeah.
And I was living in London, which is a very progressive city, so much diversity, all walks of life there, very transient city. So I was seeing people and things that I'd never seen before and learning about all different things that I never had. And I think because I was away from, growing up in Perth, I was away from Perth, I was away from people that knew me, I kind of had given myself permission to just explore myself freely, like a fresh start kind of thing.
Definitely,
so grew up in a very loving household, but that did I felt safe at home, but I didn't feel safe in society. And so as a queer person, traditionally we will suppress and put shame on ourselves for that part that we don't see in the world. We don't see it on movies. We didn't see it in Disney films and stuff growing up. It was always Prince Charming and the Princess.
The role models, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, celebrities and movie stars and stuff. I mean, it's different now, obviously, but like when I was younger, you don't see it, so therefore you think it's wrong because you don't see it. So yeah, I had really, really suppressed it and had a lot of shame on it, and was shit scared of coming out, particularly to my dad. Which happens a lot with men. But they totally embraced it, and I think because they remembered that you know. They kind of thought something was up when I was running around the house playing with Barbies and in my mum's high heel shoes and earrings and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be queer. You're just expressing yourself however you want to.
Yes.
But they received it really well. Friends was a mixed bag. Some I lost friendships.
Really?
You didn't lose them. They lose you.
Sure. But wish them all well. You know, everyone's on their own path and journey. And it's just one of those things that because it wasn't talked about a lot when I was younger, that's my hope now is for young people coming up that it's more talked about. It's more, and it is becoming like that.
And we're doing it. We discussed it the other day in the car. We were like, what are things that you wish when you were younger and you noticed that you were gay or you were part of the LGBT community, you wish you had it? And we got into the decision, role models.
Yeah. It's like be the change you want to see in the world, you know? Yeah.
And then we are doing it because from the eyes of my community, back in Colombia, in South America, gays were considered very like, oh, it's just the person who lives in the corner, who always doesn't have, like, it's always the hidden person. It's always like, oh, it's the bad or it's the crazy who just doesn't have a formal job or doesn't do anything good for themselves. And having the chance to go overseas, to have the possibility to learn a second, a third language, to get to have a blessed and a wealthy life, to have a beautiful partner, to explore a relationship with someone from another culture, to have friends, to connect with everyone. That is something that kids from South America right now are seeing as a role models. It's like, well, my uncle, my neighbor, well, he's gay, but he's good, he's happy, he seems to be loving it, and I am.
Yeah.
Then that creates that hope in that little kids, that little souls that look for a little bit of role models. They cannot find it in their parents. They cannot find it in TV. They cannot find it in the school. But I hope they find it in someone that they know, or unless in social media.
It's really healing as well.
It is.
Yeah, I think you kind of heal that scared child within you by doing that as well.
Yeah, personally as well, help a lot. Like knowing that you can't love another man. What is wrong with it? You can't. And then knowing that you can express yourself. I love putting wigs on and having fun and explore my feminine side and feeling okay with it, you know? It's nothing bad.
100%, yeah.
And it's just self-expression, right? Like the only reason it's seen as unusual or strange is because of the institutions and conditioning that has been put in place in society. Ultimately, it's just expressing yourself.
100%, yeah. I can see that sort of that fear and lack of love amongst people. But even me growing up in high school, it was like hugging your best friend or whatever, or showing affection. It was sort of like, you could feel the resistance from within and other people. But as you mature, obviously, especially a little bit more, like there's nothing wrong with that. You can love your friends, women, men, anything, like, and express yourself, express your affection and love to them without having that shame or resistance or whatever it is you've seen from movies or bullies in school and stuff like that. Because I noticed a lot of the time growing up, when you are expressing yourself, you may get bullied or something may go wrong or something will happen by other people, and that causes you to suppress and shut down, and that keeps building and building and building. You know?
Definitely, yeah.
It's very interesting that you said building and building and building, because being in Colombia, I have to build up that energy a lot. I put a lot of and I put it into food, and I start eating and eating and eating. to a point that I just got into a food disorder, and I was like eating a lot. But until I don't literally decide myself, all right, I'm gonna love myself who I am, and yes, I love men, and I will enjoy to have a family with another man. Well, in that moment, I decided to go to the gym, to enjoy myself, to be more happy, to just paint a smile in my face and say yes to life itself.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you literally realize that no one was stopping you more than you.
Yeah. Wow. Letting that love from within just changes everything.
Yes.
And what was the hardest thing for you when it was coming out, whether it was friends or family, and having that conversation?
The hardest one was myself. Because as I told you just in the backyard, my brothers were like, oh, okay, right. I told my mother was, she has passed already. And my grandmother, funny enough, who is 100 years old, she went like, oh, well, you know, everything has to be for a reason, you know. In the universe, not even a leaf get moved without permission of the creator. And I was like, wow. Okay. I was like, all right. And then even my father, when he struggles a little bit, because he's like a very well-known teacher there, even though when he struggles a little bit of what people will say, is his deal.
That's true.
Is his deal. And then I just decide to keep going until I have to tell it to myself. All right, I'm gay. All right, I have a partner. All right, I love exploring my feminine side. And in the moment that reflection said to me, and I love you back. In that moment, I was like, okay. But that was the hardest part, telling my own self, yes, you are special, as everyone is. And just go and shine with your speciality. And yeah, but nowadays it's fun. We love it. Yeah.
How old are you guys now?
29 together.
29.
I'm 28.
28.
Yeah, 29 this year.
Okay.
I'm 29 on Saturday.
Oh wow! Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Amazing. Spirituality. What are some of the most profound experiences you guys have had with spirituality? Have you done things like psychedelics, or you had visions, or just things that have really changed your perception of the world?
Go on, shaman.
Well, I love mushrooms. Mushrooms has been like a good experience for myself. Like, it gets me a lot of insight, and it gets me to see things as one. And I haven't done ayahuasca. Interesting. Even though when I come from South America, I haven't done ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And we said we're gonna let it happen. But we love mushrooms, and also I had a little plant called Angel's Trumpet that is also very psychedelic. We just loved, every now and then we used to do microdoses and have the experience of sleeping with it. Because, you know, the plants are psychedelics, but also nature itself is psychedelic. Nature, the connection with nature takes you to places that you will never imagine. It's in that moment when you sit with it and said, all right, what are you here for? What are you teaching me? And then you listen, and you just simply just shut up and listen. That beautiful voice just get louder, and then you know that you just one, and you're connected with everything, and then love is the answer.
Yeah. How do you cultivate that connection with nature and with certain plants? Is there my logical mind is trying to break this down. Do you sort of just...
In a more like a specific way, like...
Is it just sort of meditating in nature, or really just setting your intention to connect with a certain plant, or just taking the time?
It's connecting with the energy that is in the plant. Is saying thank you for whatever you are meant to give me. And then someone I read in a book, it says the more highest beings in this planet are plants. Because they don't even need to they just simply are in constant meditation. They are in eternal meditation. They just are. Doesn't matter if you go and cut a leaf, they will never judge you. They will never go back at you saying you bad or anything. They just accept what is coming.
Wow.
Yeah, acceptance, and that's beautiful energy. The plants are like very beautiful because they don't need words to communicate.
True.
And also they just are. They just simply sits there, and you know when they're happy, and you know when they're sad, and you know when they're ready to give you something. And yeah, nature for me has been at the biggest spiritual experience in my life. Having that chance to connect with animals, with plants, and as I told you, being a vet, I think is my path going into that spirituality, connecting with animals and humanity.
Beautiful.
But I'm in the process of discovering it.
Yeah. So can you actually telepathically talk to animals or sense them or sort of converse with them in a way that may give you an extra touch when you're working with animals like dogs and things like that?
I don't know how to explain it, but I do have a connection with them. I won't say that they literally speak to me and said, "Hello, Julian, how are you going?"
Yeah.
But they just simply feel safe right next to me.
I've seen it too. Like I'm a real observer of Julian, and like there's no fear with Julian around any animal. And they really resonate with that, and they can sense that, like that vibration that you're putting out. They can totally sense it.
Wow.
It's really cool to watch.
Especially wildlife. I get more connection with wildlife. They just come. Like we got a beautiful I don't know the name in English. It's a black and white bird. It's not a magpie. But it's very beautiful, and he always come, and then he just come around, and then I will give him a little bit of a treats, and we talk, and sometimes
Willy Wagtail?
it's just another one.
Oh, okay.
But it's very intense connection. Even outside, the galas always will come, and I will feed them, and I will just have that connection with them. But it's a reminder. I will put you like that. If you want to put it in a word, it's like a reminder that they are here, and what they are is who you are, and who you are is the unique thing that it is, and that is love, and it's just one.
Beautiful.
And that's it, you know?
Yeah. And do you
That's it.
think psychedelics is like what the plants give us a gift of what their experience is like in meditation? By us having that, we sort of feel what they're feeling or become in that oneness with them?
Yeah. With the plants, what happened is anyone can achieve that, but the plants are like with how do you call the thing that you put the juice to just stir and then make it like
Strainer.
a strainer? Yes. With the plants, it's like an strainer. The plants simply clear the holes, and the water can run through easier. But the water is running all the time. All the time. Since you were born here, since you came here to this experience, the water was running. And it will never stop running because it's a cycle of never ending. But the plant simply it's just that wash, that wipe of that strainer. And then water just flows better.
Yeah.
But if you've been blocked for quite a while, in the moment that plant just cleans it up, it's quite, wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But really, it's a thing that you live every day. It's an experience that you live every day. The whole experience. Look, everything is a miracle.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, it's a miracle happening here. We're here. Then the whole experience of life is just a beautiful miracle that we live in every day and every moment and every second and every microsecond. Yeah.
I think for me, it kind of melts away the logical part of me and just allows me to connect more openly.
Do you have a very strong logical side of you? That's
Very pragmatic. Yeah, I'm really pragmatic. And it kind of allows, the spiritual part of me to really just like open up, receive and connect. And particularly on mushrooms, I've just like gazed at things in awe and it's hard to put into words though. I don't know if you've experienced mushrooms as well.
I've done mushrooms, quite a lot.
Sometimes it's really hard to put into words, and sometimes I feel like I'm not supposed to put it into words.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of it. It's like a thing beyond what we try and make sense of.
Exactly, yeah.
And when you're there, it feels like home, I guess. It's beautiful.
It is.
Words are so basic. Very
and the things we
difficult to
worry
explain
about, like in every day, like it all just melts away for that time that you're there in journey, on journey,
Makes you realize too when you start worrying again when the drug's over, it's like, well, what am I worried about? Because it's just like we just create these stories and then we believe those stories and limit ourselves. We'd come back to nature again.
Yes.
That's it.
Oh, amazing.
The most beautiful present that spirituality and, let's say, shamanic journeys and stuff and psychedelics and all these things have given me personally is just seeing how other people see you light and they realize that also they can shine. Oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing. People who they just always thinking in the negative and thinking, oh, and then they go like, oh wow, but you can't. And then suddenly in a month time, in 15 days, in 3 months, that person is happy and you see them happy and they enjoy themselves and people come and say, oh my God, thank you. And sometimes I'm like, why? And I was like, I don't know, but thank you. I was all right. But you know, that hope, giving that hope to people, I think is a beautiful thing that spirituality has given me.
Yeah. It's a bit of light in the darkness for some people. Like, oh wow, like this exists. Wow, that's amazing. One of the other things I want to talk to you guys about is pain. From your page. And what is pain and how do we transform that pain and utilize it for our best interest? Because that was something I saw on your page.
That's what we are.
Pain into purpose, pain is necessary.
Yes.
Pain is a teacher. Pain is...
Do you think pain is real? Or it's an experience that we just create?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Is anything real?
It's a very tough question.
You know, like, is anything real?
Universe,
Do we like? Yeah, I feel like, are we starting a journey right now? Like,
yes, we've been in a journey since then.
We're still on the journey. Yeah, we never get off the journey.
But we can talk about, just say, people who are experiencing pain and are feeling it from whatever reason. How do we transform that? What do we begin to do to really? What do you turn into focus or into
purpose? However you want to. I mean, a similar phrase has been used in many different iterations, but it's kind of that having that ability to. Yes, you're feeling that pain. You're in the emotions associated with it, but that ability to step outside of it and just observe and look at what it really is. If you can step outside of all of that, what's underneath it? And that's fucking hard to do, and it's that in itself can be really difficult. But it's where a lot of magic lies, you know. Like for me personally, like the pain and I guess thing that I was suppressing for so long, being queer and being perceived as different in society and stuff, I had attached so many negative emotions, shame, you know, you name it. But that is where my magic lies. Like that, I had to go in there, you know, like this vault that I had just planted deep inside of me. I had to go in there, crack open the vault, and I realized like that's the spark inside me that is able to stay connected with everyone around me. That like source, whatever you want to call it. It takes practice. I mean, for me, it was exploring different paths of mindfulness, whether it's like meditating or journaling, dancing, screaming, sing, whatever you need to do to, it's not always words. I would just say like explore all different ways of connecting with yourself. I don't know if this is really making sense, but
it is making sense. I'm sort of leading up to when you were experiencing pain in your life, the biggest obstacle that you had to face to get up on stage as Lola, what were those biggest obstacles and how did you just decide to, I'm going to do this anyway? What was that tipping point?
I think once I had given myself permission to be however I want to be, that's something that's come up and will continue to come up throughout my life. But once I had given myself that permission and allowed myself to just be, I knew that anything was possible for myself.
Yeah.
And whether people didn't like it, whether they did like it, whatever.
Yeah.
If I stayed true to myself and just allowed myself to be who I am in that moment, and who I am in this moment now is different to who I am in a moment's time. But if I'm being true to myself in that moment, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Yes.
That's beautiful. I love the way you put that. Giving yourself permission and being true to yourself in the moment. Beautiful. I'm going to captain that.
I love it. Yeah, I loved it too.
That's perfect.
Amazing.
What about you?
I think for me, pain doesn't exist, but it does. And it's just, as you said, the little trigger that actually make you keep trying and pushing through, and then through that then grow and see the beauty that you are. You know, without the seed being planted in the darkness, the tree cannot be big, grown up. It's just like that. It's just you need a little bit of that to then experience the other bit of that, because otherwise we won't realize it. We will be like, oh, happy.
There's pain and then there's suffering.
Yeah, suffering is different.
Yeah.
If you're suffering, you're choosing to remain in pain.
Yes.
True.
So I guess that's a good distinction to make. Pain's okay, but suffering's not.
Yeah. Just giving yourself permission and committing to the process rather than dwelling in the emotions. Exactly. My biggest issue is when I feel a bit of pain, sometimes I can dwell on it, you know, put a sad song on and like really just...
You drown in it, right?
Yeah. Like, what am I doing? Like I'm perpetuating it. But sometimes we get addicted to that. Yeah. You know, or it's just a common feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I talk to you about rollerblading?
Oh no, you haven't. Oh my god.
Rollerblading. I saw a couple of your videos rollerblading. I'm like, that's amazing.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
My passion.
Do you have any cool stories for us on the blades?
Very lovely. It's everything about balance.
Yeah.
Yes. Again.
Literally.
Literally. It's everything about balance and good smiles. You cannot imagine how many people and how many human beings had come back of their own trouble, of their own ideas, just because rollerblading. They see some like a crazy local guy in the middle of the city with a wig on.
Well, you wear a wig as well.
I know.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, that was...
I only had the POV camera, so I could see like...
And then that's why people go like, oh my God, if he's allowed to do this, and oh my God, like I'm gonna be myself as well.
Yeah.
And then people join it, people try it, people enjoy it. And then it's a good way to do exercise, keep your physical base healthy, and also your mind. Yeah. Physical exercise is amazing for your mind as well.
It is, yeah.
And it's also a good way to connect with people. You get to know a beautiful human being. One day, interestingly enough, I had a race with a police officer on my skates, and I won.
Oh, really?
This police officer comes to me and my group of skaters, and they said, who was the fastest skaters in your group? Because we our ship has been very quiet. Yeah. And we bored. I was like, okay. And then my friends just threw me there. I was like, all right, Julian will be. And the guys were in the back, push
bike.
bike. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he goes like, all right, ready? We have to go from St. George's Terrace now, from somewhere in Highgate, from McDonald's down into the lights. And then we start the race. And even though when he was very fast, I got speed up down. And I win the police. That was funny. And it was like very lovely, very good experience to realize also that they're humans as well. And not because they work in different things, you know, because I used to have a bad idea about the police officers and stuff. But they're still humans, and they're very lovely human beings.
Agreed, yeah.
And a beautiful experience, connection with people, connection with myself. Is my own meditation. When I get to go on my skating by myself, is what I meditate. Is when meditation is not just sitting there in a rack and going home. Meditation could be dancing, meditation could be writing, meditation may be painting, or listening to someone.
Yeah.
You're really in your flow state when you're skating, aren't you? Yeah. And
it gets to talk to me. It gets to say when I should stop, when I should keep going, when I should talk with someone, when I shouldn't. It It's a very, very lovely experience, and I want you guys to try.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely,
fun.
Definitely. What are some of the practices that you guys have that you utilize on a daily basis, or keep you sort of focusing on your business, keep you focused, keep you in the flow?
I would say being present. And being present is folding your clothes, cleaning your house, gardening, putting some water for the plants, putting some seed for the birds, talking with my partner, talking with my housemate. That things that remind you that you are here, and then you should be just here in the now, not thinking of what you're gonna do in half an hour, not thinking what you're gonna do. Of course, having that organization, but being present, and plus the cold showers that are needed, because they just go like, oh, okay, all right,
Bring
welcome back.
True.
But yeah,
I'd love to meditate. Yeah, I really like to meditate. Often I like to meditate with music on as well.
Yeah.
And just allow the music to take me wherever it goes. What else do I like to do? I love yoga.
ooh,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, moving my body is a really important thing for me, because it just helps me to stay connected with myself.
dancing,
And activate.
Yeah.
And always have contact with nature, whatever that looks like.
True. Yeah.
If it's raining, go out and stand in the rain for a bit.
Yeah, true.
Take your clothes off and jump in the rain.
Yeah.
You're no sugar, darling.
touch the grass or the dirt with your feet, or you know, hold a tree, or you know, like contact with nature.
Yes, I feel
Even the plants here, you know, like
plants are, I love the plants you guys have everywhere.
But also,
Yes.
nature is not just the darlings and the animals. If the neighbor come out to the door when you suddenly are outside feeding the birds, say hello and have a good conversation, because he is also nature. It's very pretty to do that. We do
connect with someone. I guess connect with another person.
Yeah.
I always try and connect with another person every day,
at least
Really
it does
connect.
happen.
no matter what. Yeah.
How do you find with people and connection? How do you break down the barriers to really connect deeper with somebody? You got any tips for that?
Look in the eye.
Eye contact.
Yeah, and a smile. Always a smile.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but if you look into the eye and you smile,
Yeah.
people will just suddenly. The first time might not,
Yeah.
but the second time was like, that guy was weird. I better smile.
Yeah. True.
And then suddenly, when they start speaking, you just shut up, and then they start talking, and it just create connection.
Beautiful.
Listening.
I like that.
So I work with people with disability
Yeah.
as well, and I've really learned a lot about being present without having to be in conversation with people. So I think just being, it's hard to find the words for it, because like you just feel it when it's there, but like with some clients, I've just sat next to them. We've not said anything for maybe half an hour, and then they will randomly start opening up about something. I guess it's just
It's almost like you're creating a nice container of like safety and peace.
yeah.
I've done disability work as well, and people with autism and non-verbal and stuff like that, you can be really present and with them, but they just feel safe in your presence, that you don't lose your cool or you're not doing, because other people that work with them, more often than not, they can be impatient or lazy or neglectful.
Yeah.
When they're in the presence of somebody who actually really does care, they can really feel it, you know?
Yeah.
That's where they compensate for their other abilities in other ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I found. Yeah.
I think having an awareness of the person you're with or the people you're around, that they're not the same as you. They're not going to, necessarily want to talk about the things you want to talk about, or act the way that you act, but acknowledging that and meeting them where they're at. Because when someone feels safe and when someone feels at ease, things start to open up, the walls start to come down. So I'm a real observer, I guess. So that's something that's kind of come naturally to me.
Yeah.
I think because
Evolution, darling.
Well, maybe because of, again, from the pain of like observing that who I wasn't going to be accepted around me a lot. I was able to develop like comedy and wit as a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Which has served me very well throughout my whole life and will continue to.
Yeah.
And it works in the most beautiful ways as well to break the ice,
Yeah.
making people laugh, connecting to them, being funny, being cheeky.
Yeah, not just a defense tool, a form of connection as well now. But
I've seen that actually quite commonly. A lot of my friends, people that I know of, they had like this great pain or this great issue they had, which was a really big problem. That's their greatest gift.
Yeah,
One of my friends he's head of a finance company, and he's like, he had to move schools all the time, but he would make new friends whenever he went. But now he can make friends like this, and he makes a lot of money being able to connect.
Yeah,
which is a materialistic way of looking at it, but it's still,
it's manifested in different ways. Yeah,
exactly. And I think your performance with your wit, charm, and all that kind of stuff, it's compensated again, in more beautiful ways.
Yeah.
I have another question for you guys. You had to go back in time and give advice to your 16-year-old self.
16.
Year 11, year 12, that kind of area. You get to tell them a quick message from their future self.
Cut your hair.
Oh yeah.
Put down the shell necklace. 16-year-old self. Whew. Yeah, so we were leaving high school.
2010.
Follow your heart. Even though no one else may want you to, so it seems. Listen to your heart and go with what you feel is the direction you want to go in with your life, regardless of how that makes other people feel. Yeah.
I will say to him, hug more, touch more, kiss more. Like I didn't enough, but in that year was when my mother passed away.
Okay.
Then, like, she's always here and she never left me. But physically,
you can feel their presence
all the time.
Yeah.
Well, she's standing right next to you right now. But
she's standing next to me.
Yes.
Left side.
That way.
Left side, left shoulder. Okay.
But in that time, probably in the physical experience, I didn't got to hug her a lot and kiss. I did, but I was in my teenagers and I was like exploring my sexuality. And mothers don't die when you're a kid; they die when you're old. That's what you said. That's what you think when you're young, But they do.
Yeah.
And hug more, kiss more, love more. Just be you more.
Beautiful. Now, you can see spirit often, or just certain times it disappears?
Do you remember just before when I said it's a glitch? Every time when a thought or an idea sits quite well in my mind and my mind accepts it as a new reality, a glitch just happened. It's just it just happened again right next to you. It's just this little spark of light.
What color?
It's golden, but in the color, in the edge is kind of colorful, and it just doesn't last forever.
Oh wow! Because I actually saw a little gold light between you guys.
Yeah, it happens to everyone. It's just glitches.
And you believe that's your spirit or the spirit of your mother coming through, or it's like an opening?
It is just kind of like an opening. It's just kind of an expression of, you're right, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
beautiful.
you know, like, okay, good on you. We are in this experience as it's kind of in a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Everything was decided by us, and everything was chosen by us. And every time when these little lights come to me, it's just like a confirmation of like, okay,
nice, yeah.
nice to see you again, and nice that you acknowledge us again. And
I've seen those before as well, a lot of the time actually. Only in maybe 2019 I first started seeing them. Usually there'd be a little bit of light here and there, but at one occasion, or deep meditation, opened my eyes and then I saw a little blue dot just like that. But this time it didn't just back and disappear, it actually glued, and it went a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
A bit bigger, and like something came through it, spoke to me, then went out.
Cool.
Like a spirit, like I was like, whoa, that was
amazing,
super intense. But I never really told anyone about that because like I'm really gonna think. But seems like to me like spirit is wanting to communicate with us through different abilities, different visions, like whether it's clairvoyance or audience or whatever.
They do it all the time. They talk to us all the time. They talk to us through songs, through people, through signs, through numbers, all the time, always. They always. Someone said one day, we are inside of love, and if everything there is love, and love is everything that there is, why you worry? You are part of it. You are like embedded on it.
True.
Then it's just impossible just to kind of, we are playing a game. We're just experiencing all of these little tiny bits of it, but really that love and that connection inside of ourselves will never ever be broken because it's connected to us. It's us. It's us all connected with one, and it's that energy that is there that make us glitch sometimes.
Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, what advice would you guys give to people 16, 17, 18, that kind of area, who are struggling with their expression, depression, or sexuality? Just a little message out there for
It's a loaded question, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a loaded question. Yeah, it's a very tough question, but
like the first answer that come to me is just like, leave it. Not leave it up behind, more like see what it is, and if you are meant to be there, express it. And it spoke about it. It's like, yes, I'm depressed. Talk to your friends. I'm like having a depression, and I'm not here to ask you for advice or anything. I just want to be heard, and I just want to just explore it and talk to others, and stand up in the mirror and said, okay, I'm depressed. What is going on in my life? What little plants I haven't watered in my life? Which ones are dying? That is something that I will say to you.
yeah,
Like, just explore it, look into it, see into yourself, and ask yourself. Your body is a beautiful element that is there to talk to, and also your mind as well. Explore it and talk to it and say, why are you there? And try to find answers. Maybe you're there because you asked for it. Maybe you're there because you need to be there to actually realize the opposite.
Yeah. I think that was the age when I was really struggling with my mental health. So one thing I wish I had done was connect and talk to people about it, which I didn't do. I kept that all inside. So I think that's probably the scariest thing at that time. It feels like the scariest thing, but just talk to someone about it.
yeah,
Anyone, even yourself, because that's the thing. We know that it's happening in ourselves, but we're not brave enough to look into the mirror and literally look. We can actually do the exercise right now. Bring the mirror and look into your eye. It's very confronting. It's very like, oh, it means I'm the responsible of this. I was like, yeah, darling, you are. You are, for the good and for the bad. Then you better change it or wait for it, or what you're gonna do. But yeah.
Because that one conversation can change the course of your life.
Yes.
Hey, that's very true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think we've reached a conclusion. That was very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And look, I really appreciate you holding this space for us to talk about this, because this is the kind of thing that I wish I had seen growing up. So to just kind of see like two queer people talking about their relationship so openly. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful.
Beautiful.
Well, I'm
Thank
not
you
gay.
very
My
much.
boyfriend is, but I'm not.
I honestly think the world needs more of it. Hey, I'd like to see some more role models in this space out there. The kids growing up with it, and because I've heard firsthand my friends dealing with it, even me dealing with it, not having anyone to talk to about it or hearing about it, just with sexuality and different things and how it works and what we all go through growing up.
Yeah.
It's good to have some leaders in the space, which is amazing. But one more question that came to me as well.
Yeah, go for it. We've got plenty of time.
For both of you guys, what is a certain experience in your life you can recall that really shaped you as a man, or that really changed you? Something quite a big thing, whether it was you going into it voluntarily or it happening to you, that you emerged great out of it. It could be like the first time going on stage, for example, or something that really you had to shift to finish that experience.
Yeah. Probably the very first time I performed on stage on my own, I actually I don't think I've told you about this, but before I went on stage, for some reason I felt the need to just speak to my ancestors. And it was amazing because when I was on stage, I don't really remember being on stage at all, but like I remember not feeling alone on the stage.
You never.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was like I was dancing with my ancestors.
Wow.
So and for me, that was the real affirming thing of like this thing that you felt so nervous and scared about, and you're going to be the fullest expression of yourself is exactly where you're meant to be right now. So yeah.
Literally that remind me the real thing that made me become the youngest guy, the youngest nestikor, to become the man who I am right now, and still becoming more. The day when I find this 22 years old in a plane going to another country with non-person, with no language at all, with zero expectations, and with zero knowledge of what will happen, just believing and trusting of that power that I have touched not long before in my life will protect me and will look after me. And here I am after 4 years with a beautiful people and in a beautiful house talking about it. And it worked. It worked because it always worked, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure. Thank you so much.
That was great.
I know. I love it.
Fun, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do the bloopers?
Bloopers?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. How do you call it? The bloopers?
Bloopers.
Yeah, the thing that you record after you finish the recording.
That probably is in the editing process. I don't think it works. You don't stage the bloopers though.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, every episode I've done, as I've gone to pack away, like, we've talked about something when the show's over.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh shit, turn it back on, because like, it went really well. But yeah.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that, and thank you for thinking us. I know that voice come to you from one other reason and said, look for those guys.
Oh yeah.
Any other reason.
Yeah, I remember you guys distinctly. I've only met you like a couple of times.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But such good personalities. Like, I love the energy you guys send off. Like, and just, I don't know, people have an aura that you can sort of feel and sense. And just you guys are so positive and so clear. Like, I couldn't see much anxiety or worries. It was all, it was good.
Oh, there are,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
work to it.
It's true. Yeah.
And also, that energy that you see in us is energy that everyone has. But not a lot of people get to experience because they don't want to sometimes, because there are two options, love or fear. And fear might take you to stay in there for long, but you're safe.
Yeah.
Love is adventurous and love is very brave.
That's true.
But then that's the one who make you feel changes. And as you know, changes is the unique constant in life.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember wise woman Oprah Winfrey once said, be aware of the energy you bring into a room. Or you can apply it to bring into a space, whatever. And that's something that I've always, since hearing that, I've always made sure, like, no matter what was going on in my life, like, be aware of the energy I am bringing into a space. So even at the Coldness when we met, like, no matter what may be going on within, I always try to hold space for other people as best as I can.
Yeah,
And it seems to resonate.
I even have to tattoo it because sometimes I forget. What will love do now?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is every time when your mind takes over and literally just put you in that dark space that is like, I cannot see, and actually it's you yourself putting your hands in, like, okay, what will love do now? We'll just take your hands off and then just like look into the eye again and smile and talk and have that awkward conversation and offer a good meal, offer to listen and give it a good hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you really had a profound impact on me because you have such a gentle gentle nature, and you seem very grounded
Yes.
as well.
Okay,
So
thanks.
that
We
really
discussed
resonated.
that when we come back.
Yeah.
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 We were saying it's lovely that they're creating this group of masculine men and stuff, but also that masculine has that feminine bit. And it's something that we noticed on you. You were very grounded. You were like, oh,
Calm.
lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like, here I am, the macho. Welcome into the room. Everyone
Yeah.
look at me.
Yeah.
It wasn't more that, it was like,
Yeah.
hi.
I felt
And-
very comfortable around you
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it
Very
works.
much,
Yeah. And also everyone got their own journey. And yeah.
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 Well, this year's been a very, very, very powerful year. Things have moved so quickly for me, and now I'm at this point where I'm just so aware of like all the fears that are inside of me,
Yeah.
more so than usual.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I need to do something about this. 'Cause
Tell us about you. We want to hear you too.
well, I just realized fear was driving me in really insidious ways that I wasn't actually aware of. Everything I did, I had to bring a friend with me, or bring someone with me. Like whether it's like the podcast or my business or anything, I'm like, wow, I'm really afraid to be alone here. And I could see, and one of my good friends, Uja, asked me a question. He's like, what's the best thing you like about your mum, and the thing you don't like about her? And then same with your dad. It's like, what would you want them to do? And I thought about it, and I said, well, mum, not to live in fear and choose herself over a partner or whatever. With my dad, it was this sort of be more grateful for what he has, be more present and in tune in without looking and seeking for other things, especially women. And I was like, wow, the two things that are just boom, so prominent in me. I'm like, wow, okay, that's an issue. So now I'm just like going to just walk into the unknown and just do it on my own. Just stand really tall and keep myself grounded and not have to worry so much. Even doing this was a lot of anxiety. Oh, can I do the podcast like on my own, like someone else's house? It's like, what does all this feel like? This is going to be the beautiful experience. And now that I'm doing it, I just feel so liberated that I can handle that on my own. You know, I don't need somebody, because I've always been chasing love or like women or money or something. You know, and this year's been really powerful for me to connect to my own feminine.
Yeah.
With like through dance and Doug's course and meeting new people and just really embracing that and feeling, wow, this is awesome, because I remember suppressing myself for so long. When my mum met this new guy who was my stepdad, who was very ex-military, very like,
Right.
he had mummy issues, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just suppressed everything and to live in his sort of shadow of over masculine. Like I remember like not dancing, not singing, not even expressing myself, because the energy was just so dense in the house. And yeah, that needs to be eradicated once again. So I've actually gone on stage doing stand-up comedy
Awesome.
4 or 5 times.
Wicked.
Yeah, well, that was really liberating as well, just to express myself in that way and have it work out okay.
Yeah.
You know, and being the first one in my family to speak on the stage, and also to express my love to the feminine. So I suppressed my love to my mother due to her issues in her relationships and divorce and stuff like that. And I've recently met like a lot of really beautiful lady friends I spent a lot of time with, and I have these memories come back of like when I was friends with women in that way. I expressed myself and my love really openly. I had this best friend in year 1. We caught the bus to school together. Every day we were inseparable, always laughing, like holding hands, and just best friends. Until they mixed the high school kids with the primary school kids on the bus, and I got bullied. Me and this girl got bullied from high school kids, and we're like 6 years old. So they'd be like, "Oh, look at the happy couple, this and that," and they would like throw water on us, and really like.
Wow.
I remember being so afraid that I actually separated myself from her to sit separately. And she ended up moving schools. And looking back at it, that memory was released from me being friends with this girl. And I was like, wow, I've really let myself down in that experience of not just staying strong and needing permission from men to love or express myself or be with women. And I had this so much resistance to tell my friend that I loved her. And I couldn't say it, and it was sitting on my heart. So literally just last week I told her that I loved her and everything like this, and it worked out so beautifully. Now we're so much closer. And I just felt this liberation like lift off my chest. Something so small.
I know.
And that is a perfect example of turning your pain into purpose.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen on that bus, you wouldn't have had that chance to reflect on that and realize, take stock, you know.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
There was a gift in that, although
Yeah.
it was sad that it happened and a painful thing for a child to go through. What a gift it was in the end.
Yeah, that's so true. But there's, you know, when you go through a trauma cycle, and there was like cycle upon cycle, about 3 cycles that were happening all simultaneously. One was self-expression, which is stand-up comedy. One was expression into the feminine, and the other one was admitting love and giving love. All those 3 happened at the same time,
Wow.
within a week of each other,
Wait, okay.
which is just so beautiful. And some people are just like a mirror, and now I have such beautiful mirrors in my life
They are.
to grow and transform, be held in that space
Yes.
without being judged. So
Yes.
that community that's being built right now is just so beautiful and so liberating that I'm so grateful for. Which you two are definitely a huge part of that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As are you. Like what you're doing is such a massive contribution to so many people. And
I
yourself.
hope it get spanned everywhere.
Yeah.
We can translate it in different languages if that is necessary.
Absolutely, yeah.
We can put it everywhere because that's what people need to hear. Not just Judy. Well, Judy is good, but not really. But we need this. We need people hearing like real people, real cases.
Yeah.
Judge Judy.
Oh.
but this is healing. This is healing.
This is healing. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is this my water or yours?
Yeah. That's
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
And there is more if you want some more. It's nice that you discover from your mother and your father what are the things that you need kind of like to process as well. It's very lovely because I think every single human being who born here in this reality gets to be with that. A little bit of your mother to heal and a little bit of your dad to heal, plus your own things to heal.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here, just to explore that and to. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I cry, sometimes I stress, but it's part of it, you know.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you guys get into past life stuff at all, or do you believe that's a thing?
Yeah, well, we feel that we've met each other many times before.
So many
Have
times.
you guys done eye gazing with each other and like seen
Yeah.
faces slightly change?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when we stone, we feel like a lot of our connection that we've been here before, and before we were exploring maybe different feelings, you know. Now it's like we're learning how to love, we're learning how to share that love, we're learning how to keep it alive and keep in the constant sharing of love, more than everything, just the love, constant love to each other and to others as well.
It's interesting, like when we have done eye gazing, like
what is eye gazing though?
when you keep
you
eye
look.
contact.
Oh yeah. We do it all the
We
time.
do it all the
Yeah.
time.
I just know why eye gazing is.
Yeah.
We don't go like we're now going to eye gaze. We just happen to do
Yeah,
it.
we just happen to be.
And go.
Sometimes we'll eye gaze and he's in the bathroom and I'm taking a shit. I'm like, we're doing it right now. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, literally. I was
Wow.
like, look, and what happened here? And like we're 4 hours talking like
Wow.
things that just had happened in my mind. And sometimes I literally have to just come back and write it down because it's too much, or sometimes it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
in that point, and then you just have to wait a little bit, and then everything just makes sense.
I often see like a younger version of himself, like when he was a child.
Oh wow.
When we're looking long enough, I see that little boy so much.
And I see my little girl a lot on you.
Yeah.
And my little girl is there, and it's through you that I have healed that little girl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That could be part of like letting, like maybe barriers get let down after so much connection in terms of the eye contact that you get to see a different side of someone.
And I love eye contact. I don't know, but eye contact is the way you actually see yourself in the other. It's just like.
I remember like when you start doing eye contact with someone, like I used to be really like awkward. I was like, you know, look away. Like, it always happened. Now I'm sort of like, okay, feel the awkwardness. And just let it burn. Like, it'll die eventually, you know. So I'm getting better.
And the worst thing that happens is you get seen.
Yeah.
Or you get red eyes and cry.
And that's actually the best thing that happens anyway. You're seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Being seen.
I remember eye gazing one of my best friends for a very long time. I started to see his face sort of change a little bit and look like different ethnicities.
Yeah.
I saw like 5 or 6 or 7. I even saw like one that was like Neanderthal sort of looking. And came back. I was like, whoa, that was a trip. And even with this girl I was eye gazing with, like I saw her transform, and then I saw like a beard.
Yeah.
And an Indian face, and it switched, but the eyes were the same, which was really cool.
It even goes beyond that, because like you get to see other people, other humans, other persons, and at the end you just see you. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
come here. Like that, you know, like doesn't matter if you just said fuck off, I love you, because you me anyway.
Yeah, so
You
much
know?
energy and
Yeah.
emotion is released.
Yeah. It's just amazing. It's just people at work sometimes say, oh my god, that lady is so cranky, and this just like, oh, if you knew that that person is actually you know that person, everyone, one day we say that everyone got a heart. Just remember that. every fucking one got a heart. And the same way you feel, that person also feel. Then make their life a little bit better, unless giving you the broccoli that you have in lunch this morning.
In the teeth.
In the teeth, smiling.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's hard to remember that when you're working in retail, though. Have you worked in retail?
I do work in
Yeah.
Subiaco markets. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Selling
It is
food,
tough.
customer service. Yeah. Is drowning, and sometimes you feel the energies of people that they're like very like a slap in your face.
Yeah.
And sometimes you kind of like, yeah, you want to sell and you want to do, but you have to keep the smile up. What I do, if that person comes like that, I will try to remember, what is your name? First thing. And it's like, what, you asking me my name? Like, I'm coming just for a burrito, or I'm coming just to eat something.
Yeah.
Anyway, and if they open up through the name, I will say something beautiful about them, or something like, oh, nice shoes, or
Yeah.
like, are you okay, or what is happening? And eventually I will sell the burrito, because that's the whole idea.
Yeah, of course.
But
You're connecting.
but the idea is like, unless that person, when they finished, they will open the burrito and I'm like, that was different. And the burrito is yummy. It serves the purpose. It helps us in the business, and also that person will come back because they will feel that they've been seen.
They're not just buying a burrito. Yeah.
They've been seen. Yeah. Oh, another glitch. Oh! Okay.
That's actually beautiful, hey? Like having those little moments of connection with someone who just plants a little seed. And I feel like those seeds will obviously blossom over time. I think, well, that guy, you know, like...
Yeah, and you may never see them again,
Yeah.
right? But it's such a beautiful moment that you have with
That's
them.
so true. I remember having, when I worked in retail for like 4 years, and I was very grumpy working in retail. I didn't want to be there. But I had people come back and be like, oh, you're Brett. It's like, you're awesome. And I was like, really? Like, wow, you just don't realize the effect you have on people. You know? But yeah, it's nice to get that feedback.
Yeah. What book? Let me ask you this: what books are you reading at the moment? If you are reading, no shame if you're not reading anymore.
No, I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading a book called The Book of Azrael.
Okay.
And Azrael was obviously an angel, but there was a medium who actually wrote this book in America through this angel, which is really cool. I'm also reading Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, who talks about like different things the ego tries to disguise as love. And one of them was like searching for the perfect relationship.
Yes.
Is a way you punish yourself.
Yes.
Looking for the one you're seeking, and your ego wants this amazing thing. And I'm like, oh wow, like I'm definitely in that trap. I've always been in that trap of like seeking outside of myself, especially for love. And like, wow, I am torturing myself with this idea of lack.
Yeah, we're incomplete, right? We're not whole without a partner. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen that in my relationships where I'll go into relationships with women, I'll be like absolutely love bomb them, and then all of a sudden honeymoon phase is over. It's like, I didn't play this right, you know, and then struggle because of that. Or the other way around, where I feel love for a woman is really intense, but I'll actually avoid that situation.
You push her.
Yeah, push her away, and I go for someone who I don't love that much because it's like a safer thing. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, you want love, but then you're afraid of it, and I punish myself with the idea of it. So I think her book is really cool to.
It's very interesting that you talk the seeking thing, because in spirituality, it's very easy to get into that. Because that was as well, like, oh, I want to do mushrooms, and because I'm gonna increase the dose and see what I'm gonna get, and then now I'm gonna go to Peru and get so much ayahuasca and as much. Also, that constant seeking on spirituality is also it's a process. Let it happen. Let it happen. If you push a bird off the egg, it might die.
Yeah.
Let it be. Let it process. Yes, you did the first step. Now let it happen.
Yeah.
Let it develop himself. Same, like I suppose that talks about like that with love. You just not seeking that perfect relationship, seeking that perfect spiritual, because everyone is special and everyone is beautiful and perfect. Just some of us decide to be it. Some of us decide just to simply shame it and keep it away.
Yeah.
But that's why we are here, to show the others that it's possible and they can do it as well. And in the moment everyone do it, look, this planet will be amazing. This planet will be, or maybe no, who knows, you know? All right.
That is beautiful. I heard a good saying as well. It's like when an egg breaks from the outside in, it's the end of life, but it breaks from the inside out, it's the beginning of new life. You know, so making
Beautiful.
yeah.
From inside out, yes. And it's slowly, just in their own time. Yeah, in their own time. It's no rush. It's plenty of time. Life is timeless, timeful. Life is timeful, and you got all the time you want it.
Yeah. Another question, actually. Do you guys have anything when it comes to protecting your energy? Going into certain spaces, do you sort of feel off in the presence of certain people or certain groups or certain activities with those people? Like energetically, do you feel that at all, or do you have a protection mechanism that you use to
All the
keep yourself?
time.
Yeah.
It's a process of cleanse and all the time. Yeah, because it depends. Depends how do you feeling? How do you wake up? What are your energy levels in that moment? And sometimes it will hit you hard, and you just cannot do anything. You just have to face it, and then after all, just kind of go and have a smash with some
Is it sage? Is it?
sage,
Yeah.
and maybe go and have some mashes and sit on yourself and have silent. Silent is very important. Silent.
Yeah.
Silent is the voice of the beautiful higher beings. Silence. Well, how for you?
I'm very like aware of energy of people.
Yeah.
I guess when I meditate and stuff, I try to, when I'm connecting with myself, I'm in turn protecting myself for the day ahead.
Yeah.
If a situation comes up and, you know, feel like I've taken some of that energy away from me, I really try and bring my attention to my breath.
Yeah, breathing.
Breath is really powerful. And yeah, reconnecting
That's
with
something that,
myself, going inward, however that feels in that moment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, breathing.
yeah, not getting lost in that other person's energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Especially with the breath thing. Sometimes, like, if I'm really excited or with a friend, or even when I'm eating, I'm like, holy shit, I've forgotten to breathe.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or there's like, you know, you're in a stress response or an emotional state where your breath is like, it's not regular and you don't even have an awareness of it. And then it's like, oh fuck, I haven't been breathing. Like, just breathe. Doesn't matter what type of breath you do. I mean, I'm sure it does in some cases, but like, I never worry about like what the name of it is, or it's just like
Just do it
reconnect with
deep.
your breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. See, it's always cool to have that little, you're right, that epilogue
Yeah.
of the chats afterwards.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you say, oh, it's
Later
over,
that day. Yeah.
as soon as you say, like, it's over, it's like, the energy drops it again and it changes the state and it
Yeah. People
allows
relax
for
a
more
bit more.
conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you can record it if you wanted to, and then you can edit.
It was recorded the whole
Oh,
time.
amazing.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much.